So, Makena,
Yes.
talking about stigma and even the diagnosis for gigantomastia, how do you help the ladies to start the process to even know that this is what I'm suffering from? I need treatment. I've lived with this thing my whole life. I'm okay. What stigma is there for this?
Okay. As I earlier echoed, I have been doing this for 10 years. So I know, I know, how can I put it? I have learned the trade of how to capture these women to come on board.
Yeah.
You see, I could say my biggest advantage was the fact that I speak from a point of experience.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
like when I say I had 7.3 kilos removed, and the amount of noise I've been making through awareness, being in the newspapers, being in the radios. There's a time, Mali, you would call me. This week, I tell you I'm not available. I'm in the route of, as niko mashinani. I've even gone back at those sites for Budalangi. Inside, trying to make that noise and also to listen. What are they saying?
Yes.
So the biggest one of the major setbacks that you would hear in the community or in the society, Mungu aliniumba hivi, mbona unataka kubadilisha maumbile yake?
Exactly.
And sorry to use your condition as an example. It's like now when you were told you have a lump and we need to do the chemos, the lumpectomy, what if you had such a close mind like, God knows what he's doing.
I'll pray.
Or you give tithe.
And thank you. You'll give the tithe.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to change God's creation? But let me throw a spanner in the works. That is why this same God has given these doctors the knowledge to know that this is a condition, these are the precautions that they take, and these are the medical options that are there. That is why I go back to the point of people perish because of lack of
Wisdom. Knowledge.
and knowledge.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because how are you trying to tell me and your boobs are here? Ati tutampeleka kwa madawa kwa mitishamba. Itaisha tu. Huyo aliangaliwa na macho mbaya. Witchcraft. You get what I'm talking about? So, but I can say now, so many people have opened up to this surgery, by virtue of, now you know that these back pains are coming as a result of the breast weight. They're coming, I'm having a headache getting brushes because of the breast, So with the awareness I've been doing and, talking about it, knowledge is power. Yes. And from the numbers that, also numbers speak volumes. Like I can say, like last year, we did a total of 88 breast reduction surgeries.
Wow.
The year before, we were at 73. Wow. The other year, it goes...
It's growing.
It is growing, But sasa na hii maandamano kidogo, sijui kama ugonjwa ilirudi kidogo. But I can say I'm already at 60. Okay. So towards maybe when the year ends, maybe I will hit a target of maybe 80 or 90, which goes to show you people are awoke now that they're doing these surgeries. It is being done. People are looking for avenues to have it done, are understanding the benefits of having a breast reduction surgery. And one of the biggest benefits that I learned, a breast reduction also reduces the chances of getting breast cancer. Because you see, those breast tissues are removed, the reconstruction is done. You see, so hata kama ilikuwa inajaribu, it doesn't have room for it to come. Yes.
And, Makena, especially the work that you're doing, we really commend you. We started shooting today's episode a little later than what we wanted, the time we wanted to start, because actually Makena was probably hand-holding, is that what we would call it? She had a patient who was going into theater this morning, and she wanted at least by the time she's there for that patient or the girl that she's holding her hand. So we really commend you for that. I have a question, Makena.
Yes.
How common is this? I must tell you, age mates, I'm turning 38 this month. I have never heard of gigantomastia before.
And
how common is it, like in Kenya? And for someone who may be out there, a mother who probably
Oh, yes.
is struggling with a child who has those back pains and
Yes,
all,
yeah.
what should they be on the lookout for? And also tell us also, how can we reach you? Like, where are we? Because
Yes.
really, I know this is prevalent. Tumesema hii ni maumbile ya mtu.
Yes.
We need help. I'm so happy. And I must really thank my co-host Mali for making this happen and inviting you, Makena.
So there are
Where
two
do we
things.
start?
There are two things you've pointed out. Like, you see, now that I've spoken to you today, my dear, you will see Gigantomastia every time you walk out here.
That's what happens.
It has been brought to your attention.
That's what happens. You'll be very aware of.
Yeah.
Hey, this chick can even go and tell her there's help somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awareness. It's your first time to hear Gigantomastia, but let me tell, today is Taretano, October.
Yes.
You'll even be calling me, hey, yesterday I saw a woman in the supermarket. Yesterday when I was going somewhere, I saw a woman who you think has Gigantomastia. I feel like I still have a very long way to go educating the masses.
Yes.
But you see, like now, like you've had it. You've had it. Mali, even you as a man, when you'll be seeing a woman with those boobs, you'll be like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine we are talking about kilos close to 7.3. The highest we've ever done is 16 kilos.
And that is what is being removed.
That is what is being
There is
removed.
what is being left. So already
Exactly.
it's almost double that.
I've had a girl, 13 years old, 9.5 kilos.
Wow.
So when you see these things, and now you've also touched on another part, and I will interlink it with stigma. Do you know the people who are closest to you are the ones who hurt you the most?
Yes.
You'll find probably you're in this gathering, you're na Gigantomastia. You are the topic of discussion under Maji. Unaona, have you seen her? Wamanyondo. Even when they're having the discussions, you are the point of referral. The people who are closest to you are the people who hurt you. I've even had instances where girls come to my office breaking down saying that my mom doesn't believe in anything like that. And when you see the weight on that girl's chest, you sympathize. There's another lady, I'm sorry, I've gotten to a point that I stopped being so soft to somebody who wants to talk badly. I will come out and fight for this other person. You can imagine, like now you brought me, like you're my relative, so you've come for assistance. And when we are talking to the girl, you start telling me this is just for beauty purposes. So how do you think that girl feels? This girl is not getting bras, the name she's been given, she's become an introvert. But you're the first person, it's hey, in urembo ni wewe. You know? The people who are closest to you are the ones who hurt you the most. They're the mothers who abuse those girls. Bring those girls closer to you. I'll surprise you. Fathers are more supportive in this cause than some mothers. Yes.
And do you think it's coming from a lack of awareness? Because I will tell you, because and I'm really keen to hear from you, Makena, because remember, this is still the TBT podcast. We really like to also put a spotlight and the connection of the issues we are discussing to the insurance, like to insurance coverage.
Yeah.
Your foundation is supporting 80 plus Kenyan women, young girls, and also women, even adult women, every year to get back to their best selves, right?
Yes.
How does insurance come into play? Does it even come into play? Because I think we also sit at a point where, because of lack of even knowledge, okay? We could be Mali from where he sits. I'm in the distributing side. Mali is in the policy decision making,
and you've
Product development,
you've hit in the nail on the head when it comes to insurance. Yes. Who are the policymakers? You cannot put Mali there as a policymaker and come and tell him about a breast reduction. You understand? You can have a woman seated there in the panel but has zero clue about what this case that you have presented in front of me is all about. Insurance will come and give you the clause of it is an underlying issue, it is pre-existing, it is chronic. And the minute they hear a plastic surgeon has come on board, full stop. Nikufinish kumalo. It's like we are not going to have this conversation anymore.
It's cosmetic.
Okay? Vis-a-vis looking at a woman who even already has cirrhosis, like the backbone imepinda hivi, you know? You're having your breast straps has dug into your shoulder to the extent you have wounds. Your breasts are even getting the wounds, they're ulcerating. What is so cosmetic about that? I sat with somebody who does insurance. He's like, fine, you've been given a surgeon, you've gone to the plastic surgeon, is giving a bill of 600,000 vis-a-vis your premiums. Tells me, kumbuka tuko biashara. Even us, where are we making our money from? I don't know if it's true.
I do think, Makena, and it's not just for Gigantomastia. We even when it comes to cancer, the waiting periods and all, and the education of what insurance covers, what doesn't. I do think as an industry, and we talked about this in episode 1, I do think as an industry there is a lot that we can do. There's steps that we've gathered along the way. And I know today if someone is diagnosed with Gigantomastia and there's an issue of curative treatment that is required,
Yes.
some of it will be covered. But I do think that, yes, there's still a lot more that we can do as an industry to be able to listen to these issues that are coming up, because there are new age
Yes.
conversations.
And we offer a solution, Mali.
Yeah.
Because if COVID happened and a pandemic that had always been slapped as an exclusion
Yes.
was covered, it's time we actually start having the right conversations.
Yeah.
And we even have people like Makena on board
Yeah.
to champion this, because really, if you're talking of ulcerated breasts
Yes.
and breast straps that are digging into and ati mpaka spine imepinda, really,
You can
this is
imagine.
medically
You
necessitated.
don't have that condition, but when you're talking to, you even see you're even slouching.
Yes.
Because you can feel that pain as a woman. And sometimes it hurts me that the policymakers who sit, and I will bash some of these policymakers, are women. And you go there and say, you need to rise above that and fight for your own.
Yes.
I don't expect for you, Mali, to come and say breast reduction. What do you know about breast reduction?
Yes.
What do you know about breast cancer? You know? What do you know? But I have issues with female policy makers who don't go all out and push that agenda. Like, look here, even put yourself in those shoes.
Yes.
Like, ingalikuwa ni mimi, if it were me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or my daughter. Yearly, I'm getting this money being paid to my insurance. But at the time of need,
Not there.
sort yourself out.
And this also goes across board with breast cancer, because especially if you have a mastectomy. We discussed before, and we decided to do an implant right at the table. They removed, they patch it up. And so they put a silicone, which started giving me issues. They put too big, so it was like folding, so it had pain. So I had that removed as well. They put another one, but 8 years later, I still need to get it out because it's not gelling. So you see, I still have pains. I can't just turn abruptly. I can't bend. If I bend, I'm like, oh. Wow. So there are things that happen to you even after. So I still need another surgery. So of course, I don't want to leave my children. Where do I go? This Nairobi of ours. You go to the hospital. Of course, what do they tell you? This is cosmetic. You're like, but I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not coming here because, and I laugh about it. I tell people I have one teen boob and one grandma. You have one here and one goes, so you have to kind of arrange this one, push it up, wear a bra that pulls it up. Then you can't wear a bra that is too tight because then it presses this one. Then you can't put one that is too loose because, again, this one hurts. It's just, like you're saying, even finding just a proper bra, even for us is difficult. Now there's different kinds of bras, but you're imbalanced. I was talking to a friend yesterday. I was telling Mali, he called me and I was in a conversation, one of our conversations with a friend who's going through this same thing. She has one huge boob and she's had a mastectomy. She mentioned, actually when you said, she mentioned, I should even introduce her to you, her back was hurting and her shoulder was hurting. So it's a real thing. It's not a made-up thing. It's not made up. It happens. It is happening. The stigma and I remember I wanted to actually take them both out. And my husband, I tell you, is the voice of reason for me. He told me, for now, just do this. Right now, you're emotional.
You're all over.
Yes. If you remove them both, you're still young. Maybe you'll start wondering about how you look. It may not make sense right now, but just do it. We'll do it later. But right now, we are stuck because there's the finances right now. You have to think, if I start this process, are we ready?
Yes. There's
So you
an
see,
impact.
because it's not an emergency, I'm not dying, it's not do or die.
Yeah.
Behold, I live with the pain. Behold, until we are able to be sure that we can do this. So you see, they will not cover that.
And I think that is so sad, because we need to remind our viewers, Anita has a medical cover.
I do. I've always had.
Has
I have always had a medical cover.
Medical cover.
I have always had a medical cover. It's always been, we always try to go as
The
when you
highest
yes.
limits, either 5 or 10 million.
Yes.
I know that.
But still, you end up, like now I was upset when I was telling you, like, you cannot tell me I've exhausted my outpatient and my millions of shillings for inpatient are sitting with you. No. Now I fight. Then I was just hurting. So even fighting was not there.
Yeah.
You know? But this thing of you cover this, you don't cover this, you cover, and then you're not told those underlying things. Who in their right mind thinks about the underlying things in your side? You don't. You don't. One thing, though, I have to say, when I've been here, I've done 2 PET scans.
Okay.
And that's the full body check where you go under a machine that checks if you have any lacerations in your body. I've done that. Very scary process. But NHIF has covered both. They have. They've covered both.
Now, what is going to happen with Shisha Chief?
Now, you see, that's what we don't know. Now, we're having that conversation with Male earlier.
Yes.
I was showing him messages from, several groups, for support groups for cancer on WhatsApp. Let me tell you, people are sharing there. They're in hospital. They're being turned back. You have gone, after 3 weeks, you've gone for your session.
Yes.
You're told you can't have it.
Yeah.
There's one who said she's just on the bed. We were laughing in Malay. She said, Mimi, wanieke dawa, kesi baadaye. You don't even say, sijui shisha, shu, Me, I'm here for my chemo.
And once
Kesi
you've started your chemo, you have to
you
go
cannot
through it.
stop.
You have to
You
finish.
cannot stop. You have to finish.
This is,
I really do hope, even like the powers that be in this country, if someone just happens to be watching here, I hope they're really getting the message, you know. Hii kitu ya Kenyans really being on our own. Like
Yeah.
it really, honestly, I think that your thunder is coming. Really. This is so unfair at so many levels.
yeah.
Anita, please. First we must thank you. I know you don't do much of this, the podcast,
the
especially
sharing,
video
yeah.
podcasts. But we are very happy to have you on today's episode. And it's 8 years in now.
Yes.
It's October. And we are putting a spotlight on breast cancer awareness.
Yep.
What do you wish Kenyans to know? And even for the men and the women who are watching, what are those things that we should be doing? Maybe to try and stay ahead,
Okay.
you know, to be prepared. And also, if you could also maybe share with us a little bit the process of healing. I know it's an ongoing, I would imagine an ongoing journey, but what is that process like? At what point do you also start feeling confident that, I've done those 2 PET scans, things, tell us a little.
So I'll start with the. Now I did that because this is a very difficult topic to talk about. Is what you should do, what you should eat, what causes cancer. Some are very clear, or they say lung cancer comes from smoking. Some people have smoked all their life, they've never had lung cancer. So it's very difficult to tell people, as in affirmatively, don't do this, it will cause. There are, of course, things that spike, things that lead. So what I tell people, of course, eat well. Eat well is relative. Okay? Eat well. In your... For real, these organics, do what, people of country also get cancer. So really, just, it is in you. You know when you're doing it wrong, and I tell people
you know
it's
when
you.
you're going overboard.
When you're going overboard. I insist on exercises. Will it make you not have cancer? No. But I insist on exercises. I always tell people, let it find you at a good space.
Uh-huh.
Let it find you when you can fight.
Yes.
Because if you already have pre-existing conditions, you have your health is not good, that thing will batter you. Itakuchapa-chapa. Cancer can maliza you, as in you look like, I look like a kamandazi, kakaimati. I was round, man. I was glowing. Kipara. I was actually, because I want to believe, one, I mean, of course, God. I cannot take credit for any of that. But then also, it found me at a good spot. Physically. Mentally, I am not sure. But physically. You know? So that's the thing. Watch your lifestyle. Please watch your lifestyle. Number 2, ukisikia tu ngwe. Enda. You know how first-time mothers are told, you're just a first-time mother, you keep running to hospital. Please run to that hospital.
Yes.
I tell people there is nothing that needs to be, like she says, if the boobs are big, go. If you feel a growth, benign, malignant, tore. Take it out. What is it doing in your body?
Yes.
It's abnormal.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be there. We were not created to have growths in our body. Take it out. Let's deal with whether it is or it is not later, but take it out. Early screening is very, very important. Do not ignore anything you see or feel. Do not ignore it. Go to the doctor. You are not satisfied with the first doctor. Go to another. Go to the 5th.
Yes.
Just let your mind settle. A lot of people regret because they didn't take action when they should have. So have it checked. When you're advised about medication, please take your medicine. Do not be lied to by anybody. This is so sad. I have lost at least 2. There's a lady I lost who was told by somebody that this person had brain cancer and she cured it with juices. Who she had no proof whether this person had brain cancer or not. She tried treating this lady. By the time I saw this lady, it was too late. She went. She did not eat. All she did was take juices. Another one left me in India, came here. Her family refused to take her to hospital. They called her Muganga from Muko.
Which doctor?
Akakuja. Which doctor? Muganga.
Akukemea,
Huyo.
umerogwa.
Akakuja. Herbs. That girl was gone in 3 weeks. That girl left me in India walking. She was walking. So please, like she said, there's a reason God put doctors in this world.
Yes.
Please listen to your doctor. Please follow instructions. But if you doubt your doctor, there's always second opinions.
Yes.
Please go for second opinion. The difference between then and now is now insurance covers. So please, do not wait to be sick to get a cover.
Yeah.
I think Male and Charlene will tell you, kuna malipo ya pole pole, just get something.
Yeah.
Have something, a backup. We are very grateful now that a lot of these tests I'm doing here, the MRI, when I do my annual checks, they're all covered. There's very little, even my therapies, because I have to do a lymphedema drainage, it's covered. Sometimes, not all, depending on who I'm going to see. If I want to see a specialist, you know, this one works.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to pay out of pocket, but there are people, if I go to a hospital, they'll do it. You know, so get a cover. You never know when it will be needed. Now, support. I cannot overemphasize on support. I cannot overemphasize. I was blessed to have my husband, to have my family. I have a sea of friends. I had a prayer group of 100 people I came to find out later. We used to take hours. Every hour there was somebody praying for me. I didn't know. I knew 8 months later when I landed. My husband was there. He left. He kept coming in and out because, of course, he had to work and take care of the children. My sister came. She couldn't stay long because she was in America. She didn't have a green card yet. And because you're there on a work permit, they can't allow you 3 weeks or longer. They give you 3 weeks. They tell you, oh, if you stay longer than 3 weeks, then you don't need this. You're not here. You know, those politics. So she stayed 3 weeks. She went back. My friend came all the way from Denmark for 3 weeks. Another one came from here, took leave. As in, people sacrifice their leave days. 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Then another one who was on sabbatical or in between jobs came and now stayed with me the rest of the 3 months. My husband would come in and out at that time. The support I received. Then, of course, our church is an international church, so I got some other ones from India. who became like my partners. We became such good friends, because they were there. They would leave. They would come on a train overnight, stay the weekend with me. I had support like when I would go for the chemos here, I had different friends take it. They used to fight to take me. As in, today it's me, tomorrow, they would take me.
Yeah.
I will not overemphasize on support. I will not overemphasize. Right now, I shared with Male, I'm doing a course on psychosocial counseling on cancer trauma. We are not guided. People walk into this thing, you have no clue what you're going to face. You have no idea what you're getting into. You're battling a monster that you have no clue how to deal. And let me tell you, even after the counseling, you still don't know how to deal.
Yes.
So imagine without the counseling. Because your emotions come as they come. I cannot come here and tell you, oh, this is how you feel. Oh, please react like this. It's all different. She could have the exact same thing I have.
Yes.
Our experiences are totally different. Yes. Totally. The way her body reacts and the way mind reacts to medicine. So that's also misleading. People try to bombard. This is the best doctor. This is the best medicine. This is the best. There's nothing like that.
It's not the same.
They're all different.
Everyone is going through their journey.
Everybody goes through their journey. It's your individual journey.
Yeah.
But you see, because of the stigma, because of these preconceived things that people have in their heads, we mislead people. So some people back off, some don't want to proceed, some are scared, and that's where counseling comes in. To prepare somebody to know what is ahead, at least a little bit, to help them make decisions clearly, to help them, even as you're going, you're not just being tossed up and down. Oh, go see this one, go see a gynecologist, go see a radiologist, go see you're not. There's that. There's also the stepping. Let me tell you, today, if you walk into Kenyatta Hospital, you have walked in, I have cancer. Hey, let me tell you, you will suffer. Yeah. Just to get a card, registration card, just that. You have no clue where to go. You've not been taken to the cancer department.
Yeah.
You've not been taken to an oncologist. You've been told, oh, they come only Monday and Wednesday. So you come back on Wednesday. You find a queue from here to Kathmandu. Nobody told you have to come at 6 o'clock. People who go, man, let me tell you. I volunteer with Kenya Cancer Association, Ken Cancer, and Symbol of Hope. Symbol of Hope is in Kariobangi. I will not even go there because what I have seen and witnessed there, let me just say I will not go there. Because what this lady has done, she was a cervical cancer survivor. So she helps people. She actually holds, see what Makena is doing? She holds your hand, takes you to Kenyatta, because she knows people don't know where to go.
Yes.
She takes you from stage 1, 2, 3. She knows the doctor. She fights with everybody. She will make sure you get treatment. Some love her, some hate her in Kenyatta. But she will not come out of there. She will even sleep on the corridors with you. So now she lives in Kariobangi in a one-roomed house. Some people come from Mandera, Murang'a, where they come to her house, that house. This process is not going to take one day.
No.
They sleep in her house. Remember, she has no job. So she's even being threatened with this 4,000 bob for this house because there's no rent. So what has happened, one of the patients she took care of, an old mzee, passed on and left her land in Kitale. God bless his heart. So we are trying to build for her there a center that she can be able to hold, like I said earlier. Some are left as orphans. Some women are abandoned by their husbands and family. Not just husbands, and family, blood. Mother, father, sister, abandoned. She takes them in. In what she doesn't have, she takes them in. So we are trying to build a home we are actually building a home in Kitale where she can be able to house, like a comfort zone. So that it's not big, but it's something that she can be able, it's better than the one room she's having in Kariobangi. So those are the support systems that we need to identify. If these people cannot get it at home, where else? They are there.
Where else?
They are there. Where else? And please support. Let me tell you, just getting somebody, I tell people, forgo your lunch, give me that man. Me, I'm a fundraiser. And I have no shame. in asking my friends for money for this. Because I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say I was blessed to have someone who did everything for me. Not everybody's in my situation.
Very few
Very
are
few
in your
are in that
situation.
situation. And it dented him, but he was willing to do that.
Yes.
Not everybody. A lot of the cases we see do not know heads or tails where they're going to start or end.
Okay.
I'm in that group. The other day we had to raise food. She wrote a message at 9 p.m. She's sleeping. She doesn't have her dawahs. She doesn't have food. We sent 300, 400, 200 here. By morning, she was crying, saying, thank you, guys. And these are cancer patients sending to her because they understand that journey. A normal person, because they don't relate to it. But what I tell people nowadays, you're either infected or affected, one way or the other. So let's not hide. Let's not act like it's not there. The other thing I say is this thing needs to be done or taken, like HIV. If you guys remember when HIV was HIV, I don't know if, okay, maybe you know me, I'm
Yes.
in my 50s, so me, I know what HIV was,
Yeah.
you know. When HIV was HIV, it was expensive to deal with it, expensive.
Yeah.
I was young then in the 80s and 90s. It was, you know, what did they do? They made it easy to get testing. They made it free.
Yes.
Yes.
Those medications, you can get them free. Those days, those trust condoms were being advertised everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Given, put in the toilets, put everywhere.
Yeah.
I am convinced if people took cancer that way, it would be dealt with. But, well, there's shoot the shots. There's a pharmaceuticals who
Need to make
they
money.
need to
The
make
pharma
money.
world, yes.
Pharma world, there's
yes,
all
yes,
that.
yes.
But, however, they will still make them. Me, I believe your pie is there.
Is enough. There's enough.
Your pie is there. But don't take advantage of patients because to enrich yourself.
Yeah.
These are people, the government can do something. If we can afford 104 billion
On a
switch
system.
to switch a system,
Yeah. Ah.
we have the money. Let me tell you, I have seen the power of Harambes. I just tell my friends, I tell people, if there's anything we should thank Kenyatta for, is that Harambee thing.
Yes.
Kenyatta, the original
and we
Kenyatta.
We addressed it last week, actually.
Yes.
We
on-
just tell people,
on the Harambe spirit that we have in this
it.
country.
We should be proud of it. I know
Yeah.
people sometimes think it's not a button. And I tell people, that 100 bob, that 50 bob,
Yes.
we put it together, somebody will get their chemo.
And in the spirit of Harambe, even as we are, as this session, like the episode is running, actually this point, we will put up in the description and also on the screen, we can put up maybe the way that we can support, for example, the lady in Kariobangi.
Yes,
I think
please.
it's a worthy cause. And guys, this is what Pinktober is all about. It's not just about, one, we raise awareness about breast cancer, but also we go ahead and support.
And do
We be
something
that
about it.
community
Yeah.
of supporting people who are actually battling this disease. So we will put that up
Thank
so
you.
that hopefully, if you are watching this, please go ahead and donate. You've had, it could be that 50 bob, that 200 bob, that 1,000, that 10,000, just what you have. Let's send in. You can be sure that there's a cancer patient that will have some
Yes.
food for dinner. And there's also part of that money that will go into treatment. I think it's a very worthy cause.
Good. I think Makena, now we can hear from you. And how do we get Makena, and how? And before you answer that, actually, how do you get to the people who need this? You've said you go all the way to Budalangi and you raise awareness. Do you go pinpointing? Do you
No,
go-
you see,
Well,
you see, breast is a very sensitive topic and part of the body. You
Yes.
see, I just come and sit here and tell her, "Wait,
Nani.
nani, hizi matiti zako
Yeah. Yeah.
kuna shida."
Yeah.
That is why you see I'm very aggressive and very out there talking about the awareness.
Okay.
And more so shouting about the symptoms, like the back pains they were saying, the neck pains,
Yes,
the shoulder pains. If these breasts are abnormally big, it is up to you as an individual to soul search yourself and ask myself, am I normal? Am I comfortable in my skin? Are these breasts a burden to me?
Yes.
Okay? because I am readily available. I've been there for 10 years, you know, because I cannot walk up to somebody and tell them you need a breast reduction. I can be slapped.
Of course.
I can be beaten.
Yeah.
Who has told you?
Yes.
You know? So it is a very personal decision
Yeah.
that somebody has to come and make peace with, you know? There are even women who come and we have a conversation and you see this person still being in denial. So you tell them, you go and take your time and think about it.
Yeah.
And you'll find this person is a vivid follower of the work I do. So you, by the time you're leaving, you're still being in denial, you're holding back. You come back to my office, you saw we had already done 30.
Yeah.
And you sit, and that person sits down and like they were like, I was not believing it.
Yeah.
Now I have come to terms with it. And others come and say, why did it take me so long to do it? You know, you're saying, don't sit and wait. There's so many women, after you've done the surgery, they're like, God, I wish I did this thing 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What was I waiting for it to see others been done for? I do it. But I always say, God's timing is always the best.
Yes. Yes.
If it is your time for you to have surgery done, imagine it will be done and very successfully. So for me, how patients approach me is through the platforms. Okay? I don't think I have any moral maybe I will see and I will know anyway
there's a problem.
when ni mtu wangu, you are my customer. But it is not up to me to come and tell me you need the medication, you need the reduction, you need the what.
Yeah.
The minute that you will feel you're comfortable to come, we are here.
Yeah.
We will do it because it's a very sensitive
Yeah.
topic. You can imagine somebody coming to tell you that you have big feet. So you've told me then,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah.
Others, you don't know atachukuliaje.
Yes.
Mbona unaingilia vitu zangu? Why are you so much into my space?
Yes.
So that is why you see, I said I'm an advocate of the High Court, but advocate of Gigantomastia. More actually 100%. I've never even practiced the law. This has been my thing for 10 years.
Oh.
Okay? And if I'm telling you in 1 year, we are doing 88 surgeries.
Yes.
Sometimes, like last year, I was like 88. You know, when I was counting, I was like,
Yes.
Wow.
10,
That's quite
20.
something. Yeah.
88. It means I'm doing something.
Yes,
and
you
also,
are.
Yes.
what
Yes.
I learned, peleka vitu pole pole. Slowly by slowly, you will grow the empire. And even as you do this work, you know the people who, you will never miss the naysayers.
They'll be there.
And if you listen to those keyboard warriors who are waiting for data at night to go free to talk on platforms and what,
Shade.
yes, which is true.
Yeah.
And I've learned one thing in this trade: you have also to be firm, because you understand we are dealing with your life.
Yes.
Don't come here and want me to compromise things for you to satisfy you, as in toe the line. If we are going with Langata Road, 20 Langata Road mpaka tufike town, let's finish the process. There's no shortcut in this process.
Yeah.
It's for you to come, listen, be guided, have the surgery done, have a successful surgery, go home. And if you are kind enough, share the information to your sister.
Yes.
Okay? People are different. Like sometimes, people are like, you didn't feel ashamed to talk about it.
Yeah.
I asked, if I didn't talk about it, how would the rest have known?
Yes.
How many would be coming out in these numbers that I am seeing them, even if it's not necessarily from me?
Yeah.
You have had it done.
From a referral
From
somewhere.
a referral
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay? How happy are the plastic surgeons who are doing this surgery, embracing this work being done here, vis-a-vis others leaving the country for a procedure that is 3 to 4
Yes.
hours? Yeah. You understand? I also sit down and take so much pride that, imagine, I'm from Uganda. Can I come?
Nice.
The one that even killed me, and even when I was picking this patient from the airport, I thought I'm still in a daze. This patient came all the way from the UK.
Oh, wow.
And when you sit here, you tell yourself, UK is the best. This is what. So when she gave me of all the, she's a Zambian who lives in the UK. So like they are NHIF for there. Because you're not a resident, of course, you're not from their country. What do they keep on doing? Unasongeshwa tu nyuma. And we removed 14 kilos from her chest. So I asked God, what more do you want me to do? Where are you leading me to? You know, if I start listening to these noises, I will never work.
No.
And if you're not doing a good thing, hautawahi kupigwa na mawe. Mti uliokuwa na
No,
matunda.
no, even Jesus said it.
Yes.
You should doubt yourself.
Exactly.
If there are no naysayers, there's a problem there.
Even when the loquats are in season, it is the monkeys that are on that tree because they want to get those good fruits. Yes. So at the end of the day, I keep on pushing myself and encouraging myself. I'm like, had I not made that noise, where would some of these people be? You know? Advocacy, and I'm not going to get tired of talking about it. So my future plans, if God is faithful and maybe even good donors, I want to build a hospital. I've been saying this specifically just for this Gigantomastia. You come from your Rwandas, from your Congos, not that we are not doing it, but I want it to be a hub whereby you come in and work out a changed individual.
Nice.
Yes.
And may it be done.
Yes.
May it
And
be
now for the
done.
insurance, try and do something about it. Even if you're not paying fully, come in and say we are paying until here. So you look for the top up. At least you know boost.
Yes.
But tubaya watu ni no tumelipa yote tulipia yote. You
We
understand?
just decline.
Instead of just decline, come maybe to a consensus and say we shall boost you. If the surgery maybe is 500,000, we can give you 200.
Yes, yeah.
Look for the rest. You know, 1 shilling is better than nothing.
Agreed. Yep.
Okay? You can't sit in this life. If you want to anticipate everything on a silver platter, you're going nowhere.
No, doesn't happen.
Even have that self-motivation,
Yes.
you know? You guys come and say, okay, your surgery is 500 to 50, look for the other 250. You can't just sit and look pretty.
No.
Even look, okay, you are the person who wants to take a NHF. Look at the direction we are heading in. Self-push and self-drive. Yes.
Thank you. I think that was quite the story, Charlene.
Yes. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Makena.
Thanks for having me.
As we wind up, I know this episode will be in 2 parts. This was a lengthy but really needed conversation. As we wind up, for Anita, it is Pinktober. Maybe what are the last words you have for our audience out there? And also, if we have someone out there who may want maybe to reach out to you, how can they do that? Makena, same. And also, Makena, just before Anita goes, I do hope that you will join us in leading this conversation for Gigantomastia, even in lobbying the insurance industry to do more for that.
My friend.
Don't take a step back. I can tell you are powerful. If you join us, we shall show you where we can start and
I
how
remember
we can champion for that.
there's one insurance company, which I will not mention names. I was invited. That's why you see the policymakers are one of my biggest enemies. And I'm trying to front for you what exactly this is. And it was a lady. And what came out of her mouth, I was short of throwing this glass at her. Because you cannot be that inhuman. You cannot sit and, because in a point of authority, you feel everybody is as privileged as you are. You understand? So that is why insurance says, I decided nikiingia huko nitaua. Wacha tu nikae. Let me just do what I can from
your
where
space.
I can, from my safe space.
No.
I don't even want to utter the words that lady said, but it got to me so badly. And I told myself, today it is you. Tomorrow it is me. So there's that point of empathy. You get? So when you're telling me to come and champion about, give me 2 years to think about it. Asira baka leo haijawahi kuwa. Bado iko juu.
No. I think the goal here is to actually create hope, Makena, that we are listening. And part of this Truth Be Told podcast has been, and we say this in episode 1, that there is what is there, and there's where we want to be and where we want to go. We are listening to the client's voice. There is a lot that we've not talked about, that we've not even touched about today, that we want to listen to the client's voice. And what is it that as insurance companies can we do to get to that level where we understand our client, we are meeting their need, we are pricing ourselves properly, all these needs we are taking care of. So we will get there. Yeah.
Yes. And even in that insurance industry that sometimes felt like it's a brick wall that you are encountering, look, we have literally someone who sits in like head of product development. So it tells you there's still a human face to this. You just need maybe the right people to champion this with.
Yeah.
Anita, please tell us your last words to
Okay.
our audience.
For me, what I'd like to say is this. Okay, on the matter insurance, what I'd like to say is, please note, someone who's going through a difficulty, healthy difficulty, has no space in them to go through frustration. They have no space. You're only trying to deal with you at that point.
Yes.
So you have no space to go through frustrations. So NHIF, shift, shaft, shash, shoshu, whichever it is,
Yes.
please,
Make it work.
tafadhali, just make it. That's all we're asking. Just make it work and assure wajiko, wawo, ruko chini, nani, it is going to
Yes.
work. Just assure them and let them see it when they go to hospital. Number 2, like I said, screening. Please, guys, go. Men, women, go. I will not overemphasize on support. I will not ever overemphasize on support. Support your people. Be there for them. As we say, in Can Cancer, what we say is we push, I don't know if you guys have heard of Relay for Life. We do
Yes,
what
yes,
is
the Relay for
yeah,
Life,
oh
yeah.
yeah, you must have heard. We do what we call Relay for Life once a year, and we do a 24-hour walk. Not one person walking 24 hours. So yeah, I go. You know. So what we do is we have a team to raise money, as we're talking about, to raise money in a team. Then we do. The team walks around either a track. It's mostly a track. We've done it at KICC. We've done it at Arboretum. We've done it at Nyayo Stadium. You pass the baton. So we just take turns for 24 hours. Why? To let you know that yes, people sleep, but cancer does not sleep. So just to emphasize on that. Where does that money go? We pay NHIF for the ones who cannot be able to afford a year. We take, like I said earlier, you go to Kenyatta Hospital, go to the chemotherapy department. People have come from all over. We are actually right now, I don't know if Ismail was telling, but the level hospitals, level 1, level 5, all those nowadays can at least start doing these things. Before, they all had to converge at Kenyatta. So somebody has come from wherever they are or where they've come from. First of all, they do not have money for lodging. They do not have money for food. So what we would do, you'd find people on corridors. Corridors, please remember, ni Tom and Jerry. Because the guards are chasing you when you're sleeping on the corridors. And you have nowhere to go. And you've come today, you cannot be put chemo because there was so many people, you have to wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Could go on for 3 days. You've not showered, you've not eaten, you've not. So what we would do is make lunch. We contracted Kenyatta because they said we can't take our own food. So they would do food and fruits, and we go and feed the patients who are undergoing chemo. These are day, not ward. Ward people are taken care of. In ward, you're sick, even whether you're going through chemo.
Yeah.
So the day people. So what I say, I'll share my contacts later. I'll share the contacts for Symbol of Hope. That's the Kariobangi one. We are about to have a relay. We will not have a major one because of Mandamano and all have kind of interrupted. So we'll do a small one at Arboretum. Maybe not even a 24-hour one, but I'll share in your TBT. Support. Support. Because like I said earlier, you're either infected or affected. You might not know it. Men, women, please. It's become, nowadays I say cancer has become a pandemic.
Yes.
It's become a pandemic.
It really is.
But please be there for your people who are going through this. Don't abandon them. Tafadhali, be there for them.
Makena, last words.
I think I've spoken so much. So what I just say is like I want to reiterate towards the awareness, the support. Like you see the way you're saying, early testing saves a life. The stigmatization. Let's not go stigmatizing people and talking behind people's backs. Yet you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know if they're having sleepless nights. Okay? Be your sister's keeper. That is what I always say. Be your sister's keeper. And in a kind manner. Okay? So my parting shot will be Gigantomastia indeed is an issue
Yes.
that can be addressed. They are good surgeons. Let us come out of this stigma of religion. Let us come out of this stigma of wanting to kill somebody's self-esteem by talking so brutally or badly about them over maumbile yao of their bodies, okay?
Yes.
Let us learn to accommodate each other, okay? And I'd also want to say, come out in large numbers.
Yes.
It is not actually plastic surgery. It is reconstructive surgery because it's improving your quality of life.
Yes.
Okay? My clarion call is also to parents. Listen. Take time and listen to what your child is telling you.
Yes.
Because they might be wearing a brave face, but inside they're dying.
suffering, yeah.
They're suffering. Don't abuse them. Don't start telling them umeanza upuzi. Sijui umetaka kwanza kuwa mjuaji. No, we're in a generation where these kids are also getting a lot of information. Spouses, like the way I'm so happy that you have a very supportive spouse. Support your wives. Stop coming with the narrative, I like her just the way she is. What will you like her the way she's when she's seated on a wheelchair because her backbone just decided to give in, okay? Let's be sensitive and let us, as I said, accommodate each other and listen. The most important word for me today is listen, okay? Read more and more about Gigantomastia. Educate yourself. It is there. It has been done. I'm a testimony. It is doable. And I'm not stopping to shut my mouth anytime soon to talk about Gigantomastia. I am the parrot. Even when there's a case somewhere, you will see my name there. Mbaka, I was nicknamed the Gigantomastia stripper. What is it?
Wow.
Really? Reaper. The Reaper. Yes. And I was like, like the one who comes and rips off this Gigantomastia, of which I carry that mantle with my head
Proudly.
high. Yes. Yeah. So if you want to get to me, I'm on social media pages. There's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Even now, TikTok, you see now, has become something else.
It's big.
Yes.
It's big. And you
Yes.
see so many people are coming out and they're like, hiya, this thing is done here. Where is this country?
Yeah.
You know? All those platforms. And I will also share my number where you can get me. And niko na disclaimer. Mkipatiwa number ni ya working hours.
Tafadhali.
Yes, ni ya working hours, tafadhali.
Wamesikia,
Past 5, we also have to go home and rest. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Let me
Yes.
mention
Thank you.
just one thing
Yes.
in relation even to what she said, which is very similar. Is somebody's journey is somebody's journey. If somebody comes and tells you, I have had a mastectomy and I'm feeling imbalanced or I'm feeling it's affecting them. For the longest time, I used to wear baggy things. That's not why I'm wearing this.
Yeah.
It's the only big thing I could find is because my boobs, when I wear certain bras, you can see. And it's something in your mind. And people just tell you, those are just aesthetics. And it's see, you survived. So please let people journey in their journey.
Exactly.
Or somebody comes and tell you, you had breast cancer. At least you're in tafadhali. Let people journey their journey.
We need to be
You are
sensitive.
not in their bodies. You do not know what they are going through.
Yeah.
Let people journey their journeys.
Wow.
Okay.
Good. There you have it. Truth be told, Gigantomastia is real and it's treatable. You can get help. Truth be told, breast cancer is here with us. It's affecting a lot of our women. It's affecting men. We can shout about it. We can create awareness. It is also treatable. It is payable through insurance. So please take up a cover. Truth be told, you're either infected
Or affected.
or affected. So Charlene, cutting short.
Dear breasties, thank you so much. I hope
Oh,
you love
breasties. We
Yes.
just formed that one.
breasties.
Okay.
For me, mine is a boob thing. Like my slogan here, it's a boob thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's a boob thing.
I'm still in this breast.
Yes.
So dear breasties.
Yes. I do hope you learned a lot from today's guests. Fantastic. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence and for sharing. So, like you didn't hold back. Thank you so much for going into conversations that are also sensitive and really pouring out to Kenyans.
Yeah.
It's October. We cannot overemphasize. Please, let's go out there. Let's do our screening. Let us be that listening ear to people who need help, whether it's Gigantomastia, whether it's that friend. Let's be part of the community that's holding that Kenyan who's probably battling cancer. And let it not be just an October thing. Can it be a movement that we start now and move with it? You know, when Anita reaches out to us and tells us of the relay, it would be good to actually, you do not have to walk, but if your 100 bob can push us even further to support people who need this support the most. But thank you so much for your time. It's really a pleasure to have you in these conversations at the TBT podcast. And thank you so much, Mali, for being that safe space for us, being a gentleman and making the conversation not even awkward.
And I loved it. I enjoyed it.
Yes. Thank you so much. You actually do also qualify as a breastfeed. So yes.
Noted. Thank you. Welcome, and thank you for joining Truth Be Told. I'm your host, Malim Toto Mwanza.
And I'm Charlene Kimara. You may call me Mama B. Makena.
And until next time,
Stay
stay insured.